Well, hello folks. I am back from my Reno excursion. Let me figure out what we're gonna do here. This 9620T, okay. I thought, well, he thought as well. We both thought it was under warranty and found out that it's not under warranty. It ran out of warranty in August. So he said, figure out what happened. Well, we found out that the dealer had, this is a reman engine with low hours on it, and not very long after he got this tractor, the front crank seal was spewing oil out. So they put a crank seal in it again, and it spewed oil out. So then, for some reason, they replaced the front timing cover. So, I could have told them what was wrong. I've went through this before. When these crank seals on these 12.5 liters start leaking like that, and you can't seem to get them to quit leaking, for some reason, and I know what guys are going to say, oh, it's the you got a groove worn on the seal right of the crank damper. It's not that. That seal turns inside of itself like a CR wheel seal on a truck hub. For some reason, these crank dampers on these 12.5s get out of balance, and it tears the seals out of them, is what it does. And I've went through this 3 times now. And I've gotten to where when I get a front seal leaking on one of these, I tell them, buy a crank damper while you're at it, or we're going to have it off 2 or 3 times, putting seals in it. Every time I change a seal, and I've got the seal installer and everything for these. So, if you're doing one of these, that's what I've learned the hard way on these. So, I don't know. So they put a timing cover on it, and then it leaked again, and then they put a crank damper. That's what I'm hearing from them anyway. So, I'm really wondering, did they get this engine out of time? When they put it back together, did they get it out of time? Is that why that thing got so smoking hot? Let's see if we can find out right quick. Well, it's one thing, I'm glad to be back home to see my kids. Not only my human kind, but my doggy kind. Hi guys. I'm glad to see my kids. I missed you guys. I missed you guys. So let's just cross our T's. I was thinking about this. You know, I'd already taken off to Reno to go do that truck engine job. That turned in quite a fun ordeal. Got to meet a couple YouTube viewers while I was there, Joel and Tom. So, I have seen charge air cooler leaks and hose leaks before cause overspooling. Usually, it'll destroy the turbo and knock the bearing cartridge out before it gets the manifold hot like that. So it's coming into the charge air cooler through here. Is there any holes or anything in this tube? And that tube is rubbing right on that. It's sitting right on top of that radiator. That doesn't seem like that's very good. That's the upper radiator hose. I don't see anything obvious, like a split charge air cooler line anywhere there. But there's been a problem here. He said that they replaced this tank because it melted this tank. So what I'm trying to get the info out of those guys is, when did this happen? Give me a timeline here so I can figure out, is it this engine? I mean, did it happen as well as with the old engine? I'm not really sure what they're saying there. Okay, so here's the lower charge air cooler line, should be down here. Just a big solid tube. There is a short hose underneath here though. if you take this plate off, I don't know if I can see that without having to take that plate off. Probably not. Yeah, there it is, right there. There's my little light at. Oh, it's charging in the truck. It's coming up through here. I mean, I don't see anything right off to me saying that there's a problem there. I mean, unless this charger cooler itself would be cracked somewhere. I just don't see the charger cooler causing... Well, wait a second. I think I just found the problem. Let me get my light, guys. I think I just found the problem. I think the charge air cooler is what caused the problem. That whole bottom seam on the weld is split and cracked on it. Don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that or not, but that's probably got something to do with it. Yeah, the whole bottom seam of that charge air cooler is split right there. Can you see that? Let me get this camera. Shove it in here. You guys see that whole bottom seam is split, cracked? The charge air cooler is garbage. Split it right down the weld seam. We got to get that charger cooler out of there. Let's see how good this little dead cat thing, whatever it does on the mic here. But anyway, so the owner came out here and we're pretty certain. This is the old charger. This is the original one. See, here's the story that I got on this thing, okay? So the original Strawberry Nursery that I used to work for, we bought this tractor brand new. I didn't buy shit, they bought it. I said on the last video, there's a long history behind this tractor. Okay, so we had a lot of problems with it. We traded it off for a 9430. Okay, it went away. And then there's an outfit called Walker Brothers. They bought it. They ran it however long, I don't know how long, and then it got, I think they traded it again, and then I think there's an outfit called Parks Farms. They bought it. So Parks blew the engine up, and when Parks had when that farm had this tractor, this hydraulic tank got melted. So my first question is, when you see that something's getting so hot that it melts the hydraulic tank, wouldn't you think that we've got a problem here? That should not happen. That doesn't happen on these. Okay, so they stuck a new hydraulic tank in it. Alright, so then they blew the engine up when the other farm had it before this guy had it. Alright, so now we're starting to put this little investigation together. That's just I mean, I'm not 100% conclusive. I'm just conclusive with it right now. I don't have the paper trail, but it's just common sense, okay? So he gets it, and he hasn't run it that long. He hasn't put 1,000 hours on it. And here we go with this. Here we go with this. You know? Problem. I'm almost thinking that this crack is what caused the first engine to blow up. That's my thought, and that's probably what caused the hydraulic tank to melt. You know, it's just what I keep telling guys, and I'm not saying that I'm 100% perfect. I'm a human being. I make mistakes too. But when you're doing these kind of things, you have to find out why engines blow up, why manifolds get hot and cracked. You can't just stick another manifold on there and go again. You can't just stick another engine in there and go again. You got to find out why. You know, it might take you a little time. You might lose some time you can't charge for. But you got to find out why, because it's going to cost you more in the long run if you don't figure out why. You know? So, anyhow, I noticed this radiator is leaking or something on it here. That don't look very good. So, Sergio brought the parts out, or no, what's that kid's name? can't remember his name, Cardo, I think, but he wanted everything ordered, and what we're gonna do is just kind of zip the manifold on it. There's a 9430T coming to take this one's place, because this one here is gonna probably end up with a full engine rebuild. Because they were pouring. Me and Mike asked them that they were using 3 gallon, putting a gallon of oil in it every 2 or 3 days, and so it's probably got scuffed pistons or something going on. It probably got so damn hot. So we got to get this thing started and get this ripper unhooked, because Monday, when the 9430 shows up on the lowboy, we're gonna unhook it from this ripper and drive it onto the lowboy when they unload the 9430. So here's the problem. He ordered exhaust manifold and they sent him one piece of manifold. So we don't have a complete manifold to bolt on there, which, to be completely honest with you, I don't need the manifold on there. So I'll pull my plugs out of the holes here on the exhaust side. It'll be a noisy son of a gun, but I'm gonna run a hose from here straight into there somehow, into the oil pan. That way, and we'll get because this has got a hydraulic park lock on it. It takes hydraulic pressure to release the park brake. You can pump them off with a porter power, but here's a new turbo too. So I'll throw all this stuff in the truck and take it with me. And what we're going to do is haul this to my shop in McDowell and probably tear this engine down. So, but no, that crack that's what caused it right there. On that charge air cooler. Anyhow, sometimes the guy gets lucky. I just was sitting there thinking about this thing, and I thought, man, there's got to be, what is causing that thing? I didn't really see a real wet hole there, like a fuel problem, like I normally see with an injector over fuel, and you'll see a wet hole. And I didn't really see that, so it wasn't making sense to me what was going on. Then I thought, I'm trying to remember, I had a Cat one time that had a charge air cooler on it with one of those 6.6 Perkins in it, and it was doing something similar, and it ended up being the charge air cooler was cracked and caused all the troubles. So there goes Jake. All right, well, let's see if we can figure out how we're going to do this and plumb it into that and get it started and get the ripper off. Well, I got a jerry-rig deal here. I don't know if I got that tight enough. I got her tight, so I got it stuffed down in here. We'll see what happens. Might blow it right off there and we might have a hell of a mess. I don't really want to rev it up or anything. I just want to idle it, but really, we're still gonna, engine oil's cold. It's probably gonna have 70 pounds on it. So let's see what happens here with our hose. Okay, let's just see if we got. She's gonna be noisy, but it's just the way that it is. We need to get the ripper off of it. Well, she might be all right. We're gonna get that in there a little better. She's gonna be noisy, but let's get all this crap off the track. Put all these parts in the back of the truck. I had all these plugged off, and I'll probably plug them again before I leave, just to, in case it's pretty cloudy. We might get us some snow or starts blowing sideways. We don't want them exhaust ports getting full of water and making a bad problem worse. Maybe my jerry rig will fix so we can get it on a lowboy, but I gotta get this ripper unhooked, and let's get this turbo and all this stuff off of here. It's on the back of the truck. The kid put that up there by himself. exhaust manifold. Throw these bolts. There's a box here. Fired up. I think we got new bolts anyway for the manifold. I think there's new bolts in here. Yeah, there's new bolts in here. The exhaust manifold. I'll probably put you guys in the cab because this is going to be a noisy son of a gun. You guys don't need that with your overactive dog hearing. It might be hard on your ears. So maybe let's put you guys in the cab. Come on, kids. Come on, girly. Come on, girly. Come on, babe. She says Daisy don't like that noisy stuff at all. Come on. Get in there, girl. Come on. Come on, bud. Come on, load up, baby. Good girl. The windows rolled up. Okay. That'll help them out a little bit. Alright, so let's get kind of our ducks in a row here and get our pins unhooked. We don't want to run it any longer than we have to. Get the quick hitch off. What we're going to have to do is pull ahead just a little bit and let the ripper sink and get it unhooked. The top link is going to have to come out like that. As far as I would like it to pop. Coming over center. There we go. This top pin here. It should still go, the draft arm should still go down. Then I can unhook the top link. I gotta sink her down a little bit. Pull ahead a little bit, sink her down, and let these maybe might have to back up a little bit to get the hitch arms to pop loose. Let's see what we got, huh? Shut the hood on it. Okay. Alright, hose, stay on there. I'm unhooked. I am unhooked. She's a smoking son of a gun with no exhaust or turbo on her. She's a smoker. Alright, so I gotta get this center link unhooked. Let's see here. That might be it's nice when they're running. You can kind of adjust this or do whatever you need to do. Let me get a wrench here, 3/4, knock the pin out of it. Matt Dolezal from Sacramento got me a brand new, and I sent the other one off too. Brand new half-inch M18 high torque impact. And I know I got to get some more batteries. I only got little batteries left. Remember, I sent off 4 batteries, and I never did get any of them back from Milwaukee. But we're gonna go buy some new batteries. Anyways, and he sold me the 3/8. He gave me a 3/8 one, Doug. I can't describe how grateful I am. You've been a really, really good guy, man. I don't know what to say, man. There's some really good people out in this world. Crappy ones too, but we don't care about them. We care about the good ones like Doug. For right now, put the bolt back in there. What did I do with that? Laid it over here. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing to move. She's gonna smoke and biller and be obnoxious, but it is what it is. I caught myself doing something really stupid. Every once in a while, see, I'm not a genius either. What I did there was just really dumb. I just wasn't thinking. I was used to an old tractor with a regular 3-point, and I should have never unhooked this. So what's happening is the hitch is falling forward because I've got this center link off the quick hitch. Dummy, what the hell's the matter with you? See, I'll show you my stupid screw ups too. But I caught it before. What the hell did you do that for, Warren? You gotta drop it out the center. It's a quick hitch, moron. Moron, he's a moron. So let me pull ahead a little bit, fix my screw up here. Don't know why I did that. I could probably pull it ahead and just grab that thing with my crane and put the center link back on it, but dumbass. I should be able to suck it up with the adjustment on the center link now and get the pin back in it. Yeah, that was not the most brilliant thing that I've ever done, to say the least. Every once in a while you catch yourself doing some stupid stuff. Something wrong with your medulla oblongata. Step back a little farther. See if it'll adjust. Sometimes that can be a challenge on these, getting them to adjust. What this one's going to do, that's what it's going to do. Let's see if I can get a pipe wrench on it and make it move. I should have already had it unhooked, but got to fix my screw up. This is moving. That's what's going on. Am I losing my mind? Pipe wrench. There we go. Now just lower the 3-point there, genius, and pull away from it. Okay. Hairpin or linchpin back in it. Let's try this again. Through. Doug's gonna have to. Doug, if he wants to load this one on, he should probably come in on the middle road, come in through here, unload the other one, and then pull this one on. I'll just move it to the other side of the road. It'll go over it. I ain't got no power with that. No power at all with that turbo. No manifold pressure. One thing these tractor guys need to do is like a truck. They need to put a manifold pressure gauge, and you know what? A truck would have caught this. If the guy was watching his manifold pressure, he would have caught that. And if they know, you know, an owner operator running a truck or a good driver would have caught that with low manifold pressure. might park it kind of off to the side here, that way he can get around it. Yeah, we'll kind of park it off and let him kind of drive around it. All right. Okay. Bet it carboned up that hose I put on there real quick. Look at that. That fast. Oh, it's getting the hood really, getting the hood a little warm, but it is what it is. We got to get it on the low boy. Well, we have accomplished our goal of getting it unhooked from the ripper. I'll let my pups out and we'll throw all these parts in the back of the truck, and I'll give the owner a call and say I got her unhooked. We are ready to load and unload. I'm gonna have to be here and help Doug load it. You know, I want to watch that hose, make sure it don't pop off on him and give him problems. He don't need to deal with that. You guys, get out. Just didn't want that noisy son of a gun screwing your hearing up. Come on. Alright, let's throw all this stuff in the cab. Or in the, not the cab, but turbo. I actually might, I don't know. I have to keep an eye on the weather. I might throw it inside the shop tonight. That way I'd probably feel a little better because if the box gets saturated. You would think they'd have the drain line and the pressure port capped on it, but you never know. You never know. That sucker's heavy. Pipe wrench strutting away, and I gotta go put those plugs back in the exhaust manifold too. Don't let me forget about that. Well, walk with me, folks, and let's go put in these plugs in the exhaust manifold. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. And then we've been gone all week. I'm gonna go home a little early before she gets dark and lay on the couch, upload a video, and pet and play with the puppies. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Hopefully you guys on the footage can see the crack in the charger cooler. If you don't, I'll definitely show it to you when I get it apart. What I'm going to do is order a charge air cooler, get the rest of the manifolds, but we're going to get it on a low boy halt to the shop, back it off, and we're going to pull the head on it and look at everything real close. If they're pouring a gallon of oil in it every 2 or 3 days, it's got problems. I mean, there's no question about that. When you see 5 of the 6 exhaust ports on it wet with engine oil, there's obviously something going on there. It's not right. Not on a new engine. Not one with 1,000 hours, and it's not a break-in problem. It should be broke in by now. I tell people that, you know, this whole theory of break-in stuff, I'm going to be honest with you. An old cat guy down in Redding, all he did was rebuild cat engines, truck engines, and I asked him one day, I said, Mike, what's the proper way for a break-in after you do an in-frame or a rebuild on one of these cat engines? And Mike told me, he said, if it's done right, he says, jump in it and wide open throttle and go like hell. He said if it's done right, and he worked at Cat, I don't know, for 25, 30 years, and then he went into his own shop until he worked until he couldn't do it no more. And he was notorious for this, kind of in the Northwest here, for being one of the best Cat truck engine guys there was. So he was no slouch, I'll tell you that, and he wasn't full of shit. He was really good. I mean, if you had a Cat truck engine, he was one of the guys you wanted to take it to. You just knew him inside and out. I mean, everything about him. Anything from the old 3406s, the C15s, I don't think he got in on the A-cert junk. I think that might be part of the reason he got out of it, because he didn't want to deal with their emissioned up junk engines. So. Well, anyways, guys, well, I'll keep you up to date on this. We'll get it on the low boy and get her hauled down there and tear into it. I got a pack our engine that I got to do the same thing I did the other one. I got to test it for. This one's really bad though. It's really got a lot of fuel. I mean, it's just shoving it right out of the radiator, you know, the overflow tank. So, okay, kids. Well, guys, thank you for watching. I know I'm gonna get some videos coming out. I've just been. I lived in Reno for a week, so. Anyways, thanks for watching. What's up, girl? You cold? I got to get her in the cab. She's cold.